You are about to witness history in the making.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to show number 47 of the Pop Culture Gamers. My name's Haydn, and I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Steve. Steve, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm tired. I'm irritable. That's what I can say at the moment, really. It's just been one of those weeks, and I can say it. I will try not to be so down. So you'll have to lift me up.
I will do, but you know, when you're saying that you're irritable, I keep thinking about Q and Deep Space Nine, where he turns around and says, Cisco says, "I'm nothing like Picard," and then Q says, "No, you're much easier to provoke."
Yeah, maybe
not. We'll see, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
I've got my fishing hook out.
I tell you, that fishing hook will stay locked and closed, I think. Right, I'm just going to write that down.
Okay, so what have you been doing then, Steve?
Nothing. The Xbox has hardly been on, all bar an hour. The PlayStation was on for an hour last night. Other than that, a bit of telly, a bit of call out to deal with, which has been my biggest issue this week because it's drained my energy.
Mm-hmm.
All sounds depressing, doesn't it? Yeah, a bit of TV. So yeah, even though by the time you probably hear this, it will probably at least be Thursday when Big Bang finishes in the UK.
Yes,
but I've already seen it through the wonders of the internet. And we have a little bit to talk about that. Enjoying Chynoble at the moment on episode 3 of that. Disappointed and not disappointed with Star Trek at the moment because I'm a bit disillusioned with it at the minute with Discovery.
Why?
Well, we can talk about that. We'll save that for the TV section.
Okay.
Other than that, what have you been up to, pal?
I've been doing nothing as well. Nothing really interesting. At work, one of the things that I am doing is because I'm doing a bit of project management, and one of the things that I'm doing is developing a new website. Well, when I say I'm developing a new website, it's sort of more like project managing it, trying to get it to launch.
Mm-hmm.
But also adding the content and stuff like that. So, how can I put it? The house of the website has been built and now I have to decorate the walls. It's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like where I am. So kind of like exciting in a nerdy kind of way.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been doing a bit of multi-platform gaming as normal.
Mm-hmm.
I've done 5 game completions since the last show. One of them are 1K, 3 platinums, and the other one didn't have a platinum.
You have a lot of time for gaming at the moment. That's all I can say.
No, I make the time.
No, well, time's got to be there in the first place.
Well, yeah, time is always there in the first place, but I just refuse to do anything like sleep.
Yeah, because I see your Twitter posts of streaming at like 1 a.m. or 12:30.
Yeah.
And I'm just about keep my eyes open with a couple of matchsticks at that point.
Yeah, and I'm not. So, the good old thing about insomnia.
So what? You can't be getting any sleep at the minute. Theoretically, you're out. When you getting up when you getting to bed and when you getting up in the morning.
I go to bed about 2:30.
Right.
And get up about 7:30.
No, I couldn't do that. I've got to be on the road well before then. But
well, we do different sort of jobs because you're travelling up and down the south of the country, and I'm basically in an office.
Yeah.
But we do different jobs doesn't mean that neither of us work hard. It doesn't mean that neither of us get knackered at work either.
It's a different type of knackered probably as well.
Well, yeah, because yours has that physical element, but whereas mine, it's like really sometimes heavy going, sitting in hours and hours of meetings and trying to work out really quite dry subjects. And that can be knackerizing in itself. So, it's just horses for courses. It's just choices we made, isn't it? But I'm enjoying my job. So, certainly haven't enjoyed a job like this for a long time. Oh,
good. Because this is your new job, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 18 months secondment. And I'm nearly halfway through.
Okay.
So, see where it goes from there. But yeah, it's good. It's a different world of safeguarding adults to safeguarding children. Different issue. Well, a lot of the same issues, but a lot of very different issues. Like with adults, you have to consider mental capacity as one of the options, which obviously with children, it's more about parental consent and stuff like that, which is a different thing entirely. And there's deprivation of liberties with adults and stuff like that as well. Loads of different things.
Okay.
So it's just really quite fascinating. Anyway, won't bore people with what I do during the day. So that's it. Really short intro today, but we do have lots and lots of news. So in that case, we'll just go straight on to Gaming This Week.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Okay, so Gaming This Week, and we have loads of news for you. So first off, the thing about Sony and Microsoft are working together.
Yeah,
Did you see about this? Yeah, well, we'll see, shan't we? But there was a lot of talk on the internet about an agreement to use the Azure system and sharing information and research to basically improve cloud gaming and AI.
Yeah, so this is not exactly them joining forces, is it?
Well, I think it's sort of like them sharing back-end stuff and reducing the development and stuff like that. They are
going to be up against Google, aren't they, and everyone else that's there.
Do you honestly think that Stadia is going to have the impact on the main consoles? I don't think it's going to be honest. You think about it. First off, you're going to have a good internet connection, and also there's reports recently that have been coming out that have been saying that Stadia is not half as impressive as you think it's going to be.
Well, the thing is, you can always do a good. How do I put it? You can always put on a good show for the press.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a bit. It's made to look good, but the proof will be in the pudding, as we say.
Yeah, exactly. It's the being able to play Stadia games at high resolution, like 4K, while on a really horrible internet connection. Like I've got a friend who lives on a farm, and the road is a mile away from his house. His farm's that big. And he gets a terrible internet connection. Stadia's not going to be any good for him. Granted, a lot of people live in a city and they've got, 100 meg plus lines. But I just don't think that we're ready for streaming yet, because I don't think that the infrastructure's there to support it for everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I think that a lot of us do kind of like to have the things to show for it as well.
True.
They could close down Stadia and you lost everything, haven't you then? Whereas at least if you have like a PC or an Xbox or whatever, you can still play it until it breaks. Unless it's an online game, that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so the second piece of news was Nintendo have been doing a little bit of stuff this week, showing the new Mario Maker for the Switch.
Yeah, this will probably do pretty well, I should imagine, on the Switch.
I would think so. I mean, the original Mario Maker was a really good game, so there's no reason why that this one shouldn't be equally enjoyable. And the ability to make your own Mario levels based on whichever version of Mario that you want to do, I think is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's loads of die-hard Mario fans out there, and a lot of people grew up on Mario.
Oh God, yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit.
I think we've all played Mario at some point in our lives, more than others.
Yeah,
but it's like, I think it's like, we've all dipped in, whether it's small or not.
Yeah. Who were Mrs. Matron.
Oh dear,
yeah. I had to say that, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so let's move. There's still more rumours about the new Switch. More and more people are talking about it, saying that I think it's going to be slightly smaller screen, Joy-Cons on the side permanently, but still with the ability to output to a TV. So, be interested to see if that comes about.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on, Minecraft. Minecraft's 10 years old. Can you believe it?
Well, it's like, honestly, when did you last put Minecraft on in any of your consoles or devices?
2 days ago.
Oh, really? Me? I don't know. I can't even remember, to be honest.
Yeah, but when I say I did, it was actually my son who did it.
Yeah, okay.
Because he still plays it. Personally, I've never really seen the allure of Minecraft, but they're trying to do more with it. So, now there is a new Minecraft Earth coming out, which Microsoft has announced. So this is an augmented reality game. And I don't think it's not like the Google augmented reality one that they showed before. From what I can gather, it's going to be more like a Pokemon Go kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Which, so you'll go about in the real world and do Pokemon-y sort of things, but I'm really not sure about it. If I'm, I think it'll be good for kids, but I think for people like you and me, it's going to be something that's just going to pass us by.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of why we would be that interested in it, but it'll be interesting to see what it comes up with. I don't think that the trailer that Microsoft put out in any way, shape or form gave you any real idea about what it is. So do you think more will be revealed in a couple of weeks? I would have pretty much guessed so, yeah. I think we're going to probably see quite a lot of announcements, but I think a lot of them we can already guess. It's going to be like Gears 5, Forza 8, that sort of stuff. The good old staples. Maybe with a couple of surprises? I'm hoping that they're going to come along and say Fable 4. Well, after the last time they were hinting at it, I'm hoping that something like that may come to fruition, as they've words I'm trying to put out. Yeah. Well, we'll have to just we'll have to do. I don't know if we'll do another podcast before E3, won't we? Yeah, we will. So we could do a little bit of a prediction then. Yeah. See how wrong we get it. I think we're. It'll be interesting. Interesting. But we'll just have to see, won't we? Anyway, so moving on from that, Ubisoft have also released their raid for Division 2. Yeah, how's that all going to work? Because when I think raid, Destiny pops in your head. 6 people, etc., etc. Yeah, I just can't imagine how it's going to work. I know it's difficult to comprehend from what I'm used to seeing in a raid and Destiny, than where you're going to see one with humans and guns and a city. Do you know what I mean? I can't get my head around it. I mean, I've seen a chat with Gavin and Mark and everyone on the We Are Gamers Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I think that they were coming up against the same thing as that we had with Destiny.
Yeah.
Because we struggled to get 6 people. Or at least 6 people to do the whole raid. You could maybe get people who come in and they'd say, I can only play for half an hour. Well, if you're doing a raid, you might as well not bother.
No, you want 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah. Until at least you can start doing really quick run-throughs of it. But the raid on the Division is 8 people. That just makes it exponentially worse to try and get 8 people together. And I think that this is where they're trying to force people down the road of clans more in the game. But the thing is, just because you're in a clan doesn't mean that people are A, playing the game when you want to, and B, want to do the raid.
Yeah.
I think that there's this fallacy that as soon as you join a clan, everything's hunky-dory and tickety-boo. It's not.
No, absolutely no.
You know, you still get people who want to play, but they have their own lives, and it just to get 6 or 8 people together is just a nightmare.
Yeah. It sometimes depends what day you can do it. Sometimes evening never works because there's never enough time in the evening.
Yeah, you just feel too tired or whatever.
Yeah, so it has to be probably a Saturday or something like that.
And then if you've got kids, you can't do a Saturday because you've got to go out with the family and all of those sort of things.
Yeah.
So I really wish what they would do is they would do like raids for 4, 6 and 8 people, because 4 is a manageable number.
Yeah, it is.
6 isn't. It is increasingly worse, and then 8 is just way too many people to coordinate. You know, when just to get the time allotted. Yeah, you have to be like 8 6th formers who don't have any money, and the only thing that you do is play the Division. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not meaning to stereotype there, but that's generally where it is.
That is, it is. That is what it is. It's
yeah.
You know, we all got lives. There's days where I can get a bit of gaming in every night, but just recently I just don't have the energy for it. It's just been, it's tough doing long hours.
I've not really seen you online at all.
No. Not at all.
But then again, I do keep seeing you. I've been listening to this record. So you kind of gone on to something else, haven't you, really, at the moment?
Well, no, we'll see what I do. I do post bits and pieces for that, but it's not necessarily... I mean, I've been watching a lot of movies recently because I'm just too tired.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot as well.
I was watching Cat People last night. Was it like the night before? And I was watching Creep Show last night. So, but it's like, it is what it is. I don't get to listen to my LPs till, well, the last week I haven't because I can't do an on-call out. So I can't even stick my headphones on. Throw the phone away because it's going to wait for it to go off, So, yeah, it is what it is, really.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So the last bit of news that I've got, and this is no pun intended, but I can't see how this is going to really work. I'm not even sure whether or not it's actually a bit of fake news.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
But reportedly, Microsoft have patented a Braille controller. So the droids evidently it's been reported, and it's in more than one place, which tends to make me think it's not a fake, because I also looked to see if it was posted on the 1st of April, which it wasn't.
So who would use a Braille controller, first of all?
Somebody who can't see, I would expect. And if they can't see, how can they play a video game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, they could have impaired it. Their eyesight could be impaired slightly.
Yeah, they might be able to see rough outlines of shape, but not certain other things. But anyway, it's reported in several websites from what I've seen.
Yeah.
That it looks a bit like an Elite controller, but with an extra set of paddles. It also reported that the paddles vibrate to output in Braille, and that the Braille accessories could also be provided to provide additional Braille input and output capabilities. So, evidently it's there's no guarantee about a release date or anything like that, but Microsoft have produced a accessibility controller. So there might be something to it, but I do seriously question about how people would use it, because the other thing as well is if you think about a controller, all of the buttons, you don't really need to look at them to know where they are or what they are. Once you've been told.
Well, see, if you're a gamer, do you think it's there to a certain degree?
Yeah. So it was an interesting thing, which I'm sure is fake news, but it's like the thing that it's been on several websites, and they're not jokey websites either. Some of them, well, all of them, to be honest. Yeah. So that's kind of like what made me think: is this actually true?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We might have a few people come back at us and say
it's a joke. Yeah, like I said, I can't see it myself, but that's not a pun or a joke at blind people.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the new releases. So, Steve, do you want to go through those?
Okie doke. So, from the 21st, we have Assassin's Creed 3 remastered on the Switch. We have Killing Floor double feature PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Observation, digital only on the PS4 and the PC. Team Sonic Racing, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. 22nd, which is today. Everybody's Golf VR for the PS4 and Sony. We have, on the 23rd, we've got Town of Light on the Switch. We have Total War 3 Kingdoms, PC. TT Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge, which I imagine is a racing game. And the 24th, we have got, I can't even read that. Atelier Luna, is that?
Atelier Lulua.
Okay.
The Scion of Ireland.
That's Japanese if you've ever seen something. And it is, it's on the PS4 and the Switch. We have Dollhouse, PlayStation 4. For the King, PS4 and the Switch. And Sword Art Online on the Switch. Last one for the 24th.
Cool.
Anything there takes your fancy?
If I had a Switch, I might have gone for Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered on there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not bothered about Everybody's Golf VR, to be honest.
I have.
I know you have.
Because I've been playing it.
Yeah, and we're going to hear all about it. But
not too much, but yeah, a little bit. But yeah, do you know what? From midnight on, it was last night, wasn't it? I didn't realise that it was being out in like 10 minutes. I thought, okay, I'm going to have to stay up now.
Yeah. And then you wonder why you're tired.
No, it's just in general, Anyway, do you want to do video game charts? Come on.
Yeah, so video game charts. At number 5, down from 4, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. Down from 2 to 4, we have Mortal Kombat 11. At 3, holding position, we have FIFA 19. At number 2, down from first place, is Days Gone. And straight in at number 1 is Rage 2. So I don't think that was really a surprise, because it's that sort of desperate time of the year, isn't it, where we crave new games.
There's a couple of, there's 3 new games there from the last week or 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Bethesda at the minute, whether Rage is on the ball. I'm not hearing too many good things about it. Days Gone, I'm hearing lukewarm things about it. And Mortal Kombat's had trouble with earning the coins in game as well. So, yeah, doom and gloom at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Find an old game to play, something different.
And that's a lot of what I've been doing as well. I have to admit, I've been seriously thinking about digging out the PS3.
Yeah?
Yeah, but having a go on some of them. Seriously thinking about it. Maybe streaming some of it as well. Putting it into my Hopage. Doing a bit of streaming. Yeah, I thought so.
And so if anyone's going to watch it, then maybe they should give them an option to choose a game or something.
Yeah, well, I have been still doing a little bit of streaming.
Yeah.
Not as much as I wanted to, but some nights I just feel so tired, like yourself, and then I don't really want to stream when I feel like that, so I'll just play a game normally.
Yeah.
But if I can, I do stream. And there's been a couple of people who have subscribed. So thank you very much for that. Anybody else who wants to subscribe, please do. But Yeah, so it's going, streaming's going okay. Just need more people to watch. Anyway, moving on. So shall we talk about what we've been playing? So what have you been playing, Steve?
All 5 minutes of it. So I played about an hour of Destiny 2. Just for the moment to tidy up the Xur bounties, which finished last weekend.
Yep. And was there a nice surprise at the end of it?
No surprise, no nice little gift at the end of it, just standard stuff out of the crate.
You'd have thought after all of that you'd have got
a
nice little exotic.
But actually, when I did play for the hour, I did do some stuff, and I actually got the exotic drop out of nowhere for me. I think it's Sunseeker it's called. I can't remember now.
Oh yeah, I've got that. I've had that for a while.
So at least that one now is 700, so I can delete the one in my vault that was probably about half of that. But I won't spoil if anyone's still got to play it yet. But once you complete the Xur bounty, now there's one issue with the Xur bounty this week. It's all multiplayer,
right?
So this will be out your window. So you've got to play.
Crucible.
But you've got to do competitive is one of them. You've got to play a few games of competitive. You've got to play a few games of Rumble, and then just standard Crucible. Or at that time, I used Iron Banner, which finished this week for the last time in this season. And you got to a cutscene, which I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But it does tease a new enemy that will be coming to Gambit and in general to the game as well.
Okay. Which,
if you've played the end of Destiny 2 storyline and saw the cutscene, that will give you a clue. And you're thinking...
the pyramids on the outside of...
Oh, there you go. Yeah, spoil it for him. Yeah, so that was on... What did he flick?
I only said pyramids. I didn't say anything else.
No, that's enough. That's enough. Because that's what's on the coin. When the Gambit tags.
Yeah.
He gets thrown a new Gambit tag and he opens up his palm and he sees a picture of a pyramid in it.
Right.
So, yeah, interesting. But as you say, we've got Season of Opulence starting in a couple of weeks. We've got one more reset before then. So if you want to start stacking your bounties up to help you start off with, if you're one of those that's going to go for the raid, you've only got to get a few levels up and they're opening the raid straight away. So for those that want to do that, welcome to dive in. So I'll be looking forward to the new season anyway. And just carrying on with that. I turned the PlayStation on. It coughed out dust when I did that. And I wanted to play the demo for the Everybody's Golf. So I got on that last night. And as it will be led to believe, all it was is you're going to be in the bit of a training session with it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be just whacking your balls in the oh my god, what do you call it? Just for training. So just down the lane there and just keep practicing on your clubs.
Right.
And
okay.
It works pretty well. As I said to you earlier, I think I need to retune my VR because I do know that it works better than it did for me at that time last night.
Right.
But I know the camera's been moved, and I had to turn the brightness down because it was very bright when I was playing. So I need to just tweak the room a little bit, which might just sort it out.
Yeah.
But when you try the demo, it's pretty cool to be in that environment and look around and see everything. And swinging the club and just how everybody's golf gets it so right. So from then, I just decided to purchase the full game, not realising that it was going to be available in like 10 minutes because at that time it was 10 to 12 on the 21st.
Right.
So
you saw your little countdown?
Yes, I did. I got an extra caddy for my troubles, and I got 3 desktop golf pictures as well to give my PlayStation that golf feel. And so I had a quick jump on with it. And as I'd already done the tutorial, I did a bit of that anyway. So you get the trophy for that anyway. You mustn't not. You always got to get that training trophy in whatever game it is. because most of them put it out there. And after I did that, it brings you straight into the reception hall. If you remember, as in Everybody's Golf, as it always normally looks, and you see the woman behind the reception desk, looking very Japanese, and she's right close to you in the face. It's literally it's like you're leaning up against the desk, and she's just the other side.
Right.
It's crystal clear. The graphics are superb. They're not grainy graphics at all for VR. And you get the option to either use the standard controller, or a move controller. So if you want to sit down for a bit, I should imagine, I've not tried it yet, you can probably sit down and just play it that way.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, let me just pick out quickly. I'll have a quick go with the move controller. And they say this was sometime after 12. And opened up a 3-course tour on that. And start the game up. Your caddy's there by the car. She walks over to you and chats. She's right in front of you. You're looking around, you're going, well, I'm on the golf course. It just doesn't... I've not seen the VR in golf yet, ever. And I was quite chuffed with it. It looked pretty cool. Then after that, you can skip the intro, and you're at the first hole. And it's quite interesting to say that there's a few things you can do before you even decide to tee off, because you have a tablet on the trigger at the back of your move controller.
Yeah. You
can quickly just pull that, and it'll bring a tablet on the end of your move controller, and you can flick through the pages of some of the tutorial and give you all the information for what you're doing. You can click one of the buttons that will bring you, like you're in Land of the Giants. And right. you can see the little caddy way down below, and you can see the layout of the whole course. And just a quick go. As I say, I might try and get on tonight if I can and set it up and have another go. But very fluent. Even though the golf club wasn't sitting right with my hand at the time, I can see I can enjoy this. It is totally a single standalone game. There's no multiplayer in it. And there's no AI except for yourself. But for $24.99, that's not bad going.
Yeah, I have to admit, because to me this should have been a bit of DLC. It shouldn't have been a different game. I think if you've already got it, I think it's overpriced. Yeah,
well, I think you've got like 3 or 4 caddies to unlock. There's a shed load of clubs and stuff like that to do. I'm not sure how many courses are on there yet. Maybe only 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But who's know what they can bring extra stuff down to the game anyway. So, but we'll see on that. I think it just looks so cool. And it really, we haven't had a proper golf game in a while that we've enjoyed, going back to the 360 days with Tiger Woods and everything else in the Masters.
Yeah. This
just takes it to a different level, and I think it's very well worth the $24.99, to be honest. I thought this was going to be an expensive game, but I can see, it's not bare bones, but there's enough there for you to dig in and enjoy if you like playing golf. And if you've never had a chance to go on a course, this is the next best thing, to be honest.
So it's definitely a better experience than just playing in 2D, as it were.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And definitely. You get that sense of depth perception.
Oh, yes. Yes, you do. I don't know if you look at some reviews online. I did check one out. It was an unbiased review, and they had the setup correctly, and they were obviously at first, till you get used to playing the game, you were slicing a bit.
Yeah.
But once you get into it and you know what you're doing, I think you can just get it off, and it's a great little game. Great little game. I mean, remember, VR is still, we got an Everybody's Golf game anyway, which is a full blown thing. So this is a nice little accompaniment to the game, I think.
Right.
So, but I'll have a dig. Hopefully, I will get a chance over I didn't even know it's the bank holiday weekend.
Oh, yes.
So hopefully I'll get a chance to deep dive in that. Although I have got a concert to go to the weekend as well. But yeah.
Who's that with Take That?
It is, yeah. At Southampton. So
nice.
So nice day for it, hopefully, as well.
Yeah.
Because last time it rained, so we'll just knock a bit of wood down. Hopefully, it will be good. But yeah, so I haven't done a great deal this week, but it was nice to get the PlayStation out and just take the dust off it, download a couple of games, Also downloaded the Plus games as well.
Mm.
But we'll see if I get to use those. Probably won't, but I just download them anyway.
Cool.
So, my little bit of gaming is a bit insignificant to what you've been up to. So, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing loads, but I'm not going to talk about them all. So, first game I've played, and this is 100%ed, but without a platinum, because there isn't a platinum for it. I can never understand that on games. Really, come on, Sony, you need to be consistent in terms of your gaming. All games should have a platinum. Anyway, the game is Planet Alpha. So I played this previously on the Xbox. Absolutely loved it. It was one that I played at Insomnia as well. Basically, it's a beautiful science fiction platform game, very similar to Inside or Limbo.
Yeah.
But it's retro future sort of look. The very bright, very bright colours. And basically you're this alien who is going along the landscape while his planet, or the planet that he's on, is being invaded by these robots that look a bit like Robbie the Robot. And you've just got to escape. The difference with this game is that you get the ability to tilt the axis of the planet so that you can make it day or night when you want to. And by doing that, certain flowers open up at night that aren't open in the day, which gives you abilities to hide against things and that sort of stuff. But also you can use, there's other animals that are around that at certain points, to be honest, this is more like trigger points. But when you hit a certain point on a screen, an animal will charge across or whatever, it's that will kill something that's in the way. But there's also environmental obstacles. So some points you look and you think, I can't get past them because it's not possible to sneak past. There'll either be a hidden path or there'll be a piece of the environment you can sabotage and, kill the robots that are guarding whatever entranceway, or sometimes you just got to leg it. So there's plenty to it. Yeah. This is a game that's, as I said before, is on the Xbox as well as the PS4, but it's also available on the PC and the Switch. And I think that this, if you haven't played it before, this would be the perfect pick-up game on the Switch, because it does have that playability factor like Inside does, which was another hugely enjoyable game.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing Inside. It was a great game.
Yeah, well, Planet Alpha I can't recommend enough. I think it's a really super enjoyable game. The full price cost of it is £16, which I think is worth every penny, but it's very often on sale now. But it does look beautiful, but it's also it's one of those games that has the balance right between fun and frustrating, which is a very difficult line to walk, is that. But sometimes you try something and that doesn't work, and then you might try it again and it does work that time. But it's all to do with your timings. So well worth a look. If you haven't already picked this up, I would really recommend that you play it. Like I said, it does look really beautiful. Doesn't matter which system that you're playing it on.
Yeah.
So my next one, I'll keep with the indie games, or the smaller indie games first off. My second completion, which was my 34th completion of the year, is the game Planet of the Eyes.
Okay.
So this is another little platform game. It's available on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Mac.
Oh, shock horror.
Shock horror. We don't have to talk about Mac gaming here. But it's from developer Coco Cucumber, and it's basically a atmospheric platforming game.
Yeah.
It's not high bit, but it's not like really super modern graphics either. It looks really nice. What makes this game interesting is that there's a mixture of platform challenges, but also physics-based challenges as well. So, for example, like in games like, again, Inside, where, you might roll objects or whatever, you can do the same thing in here. But one of the interesting sort of puzzles is much later on in the game, but there's 2 lasers firing, and then there are 2 other lasers occasionally firing across and are different colours, and you have to jump on one, get it swinging, and then when it swings, it switches off the other one of the other lasers. You have to get to the other side and do the same thing, so then you can go down underneath and then run across the whole area, which requires a bit of crackerjack timing. And then there's also
crackerjack.
Yeah. And then there's also all of the, complicated jumping that you have to do because, when you're getting near the end, you have to switch off some switches, but the platforms are rotating and you have to not fall off, and but there'd be like in clusters of 3 by 3.
I'd say that'd be a barrel of laughs for me then.
Yeah. Well, with your skills with jumping.
God.
Especially on Destiny.
If that was my warlock, we wouldn't get anywhere.
Well, no, you wouldn't have got a single trophy on it. But it's a good laugh. It's a nice little game. Again, just like Planet Alpha, this is one of those ones where the narrative of the story is told visually as opposed to it actually being narrated to you or, through, dialogue and exposition. Which means that you kind of interpret it however you want to interpret it.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a little bit, quite nice. But it is a beautiful aesthetic of the game. Again, really nice colours. It looks good. The game was a finalist in the Best Indie Game at the Canadian Video Game Awards as well. And you're basically this service robot who's just got to walk along this mysterious sort of planet. It's not a very long story. You'll probably finish it in a couple of hours. But when you pick it, you can pick it up on the sale for like a couple of quid. So it's worth a look, just for a quick play.
Oh, okay.
And, like I said, it's enjoyable. And there's like audio tapes that you can pick up, which does actually give you some story there because it plays the tape. So it's probably unlike Planet Alpha, there is actually some talking, but most of the story is actually given to you by you visually seeing what's happening rather than being dictated to you.
Oh, okay.
So that's that one. My last game I want to talk about is Strange Brigade.
Yeah, you've played quite a bit of this, haven't you?
I have. I've been streaming it as well. I've played it previously on the PS4, and I've spoken about it before as well, but this is a game that's on Game Pass at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a up to 4 player sort of action puzzle game. It's based sort of Second World War-ish kind of time frame. There's no zombies, no Nazis in this game.
No.
But you play one of several characters, some of which are like sort of semi-Indiana Jonesy sort of characters. But the Strange Brigade is a group of people who are employed to look into mysterious happenings, as it were.
It's sort of set in the time of like when Indiana Jones was in the Temple of Doom. It's sort of set in that sort of era, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yes, sort of Second World War-ish.
Yeah.
But I, this game I really do like because it delivers the sort of narrative part of the story through these sort of Second World War movie reel sort of videos.
Yeah.
Where it shows you them talking, and there's also a narrator to it as well, and they'll narrate right throughout the whole game. And if you do something, like, I say, good shot, and stuff like that, you'll get those sort of comments coming from the narrator. Or if you're standing around, he'll suddenly turn around and say, having a bit of a rest, are you? So it's got a sense of humour about it, which is another thing that I actually like about this game.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. You go up against sort of all different bad guys.
So like mummies and things like that. And
yeah, so basically the story is 4,000 years ago, in Sahara, Africa was ruled by Satiki, who was a brutal but barbaric queen, and she was unhappy with her rule, and her people she was unhappy with her rule, and her people overthrew her and sealed her into a nameless tomb. And then in the 1930s, an archaeologist found the tomb and released the Queen's spirit. And you're part of this secret service agency that have been sent by British colonial government, and you're a member of the Strange Brigade, and you're trying to eliminate Satiki, trying to, capture this, spirit. And you go up against all of these mystic beasts. So there's loads of sort of like skeletons and zombies, that kind of stuff. But then you also get, more, different sort of characters. So there's like these sort of voodoo characters that come and attack you. And every time that a new sort of character comes along, it says, I say, what's all this? And then, it'll show you a little video of this new sort of enemy that's coming at you, in the movie reel sort of style. Oh, okay. So it keeps that sort of sense of humour going. And then, when you get them, it'll go, I say, what a whale, boy, that was a good shot, and all that sort of thing. So it's like very sort of taking a mick out of that very British sort of stereotype.
Thomas is in it, sort of thing,
But it's a great fun game. I'd love to play this multiplayer because I've never actually played it multiplayer. I didn't have anyone to play it with on the PS4. Can you hear the violin in the background? Because no one I knew was actually playing it when I was. But if anyone wants a game, just let us know, because it is a great fun game, and it's one I haven't completed because I just could not on solo get past the last boss, because what happened was the boss fired out these orbs at you, which tracked you and went through things as well. So you couldn't hide under a bridge, and you had to duck and dive. But the problem was, when there's one of you, you've got all four orbs going at you, which basically kills you in an instant. Whereas if you're in a multiplayer game, the orbs split up into different directions after the different members, wherever they are, so that it doesn't do as much damage to you. So it's way harder to complete the game on your own. And I just could not get past it. It did my head in. It really did.
Yeah.
And I refuse to lower the difficulty or anything like that. But it is great fun. The guns are a little bit difficult to control, but that's the nature of those sort of guns. It's like you're talking about Second World War era guns that didn't have like things like stabilizers on or anything like that. That modern guns have to minimize the like the effect of the gun being fired, the recoil. So you get probably a bit more of a realistic kind of feel to how it is. So you've got to do things in short bursts rather than just holding the gun down and just mowing things down, like that. But I love the game. Really good fun.
Yeah.
Well worth a look. And there is DLC for it as well. I've not got the season pass, but I'm seriously considering getting it to play the full lot. Yeah.
So you had enough of playing Assassin's Creed for a while then?
No.
You have been in the background, okay.
Yeah, I've been playing it on the PlayStation now.
Oh, really? Oh, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, why not? I want to make sure that they're all the same.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
So, yeah, I have started it on the PlayStation 4 as well. But I'm trying to just give myself a break from Assassin's Creed, not because I'm not enjoying it.
You just want to burn out, do you, really, to be honest?
No, exactly. And also, I think if I just came on here and you said, right, okay, I've played half an hour of Everybody's Golf VR, and I said, well, I've just been playing Assassin's Creed Unity. I think people go, oh, God. So I thought I'd better play something different.
Well, you are anyway, you know that. So whether or not I've been playing games or not is irrelevant, actually, but there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's it for me. Anything else from you?
No, I don't think I did browse the sales, but there was nothing there that really take my fancy, to be honest.
No.
It's a quiet time, I think, really. But I've got plenty. I mean, I've got to go back to Tomb Raider as well at some point. So I've enjoyed so far how much I've played of that.
Yeah, hadn't you started playing that?
I'm now I'm in another zone, aren't I? So
yeah.
I'm now actually in a complete different area. So I've actually progressed quite a bit, as in from the start of the game.
Right.
But as I say, I'm just so tired at the moment with work and stuff. Long days driving. It's just I just can't keep my eyes open for playing games. I can't concentrate. Hence why I've just been watching a bit of telly. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, in that case then, let's move on to movies, TV and streaming.
In quest of a better life,
Okay, so movies, TV and streaming, and we have lots of news on this on stuff as well. So first off, we have the new Star Trek show starring Patrick Stewart. There has been an announcement of the name, and it is Star Trek Picard.
No. I think it was probably obvious, wasn't it? Do you think?
Well, not necessarily. It could have been Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I did see the banner. I did see the banner for it, just saying Star Trek and then Picard with the A, B, and the insignia, which is very clever.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also using the same sort of graphics as Discovery is as well, and we're going to get to why you don't like Discovery in a minute. Because, well, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but yeah. So the show will chronicle a late chapter in Picard's life, approximately 20 years after Nemesis. The cast is going to star Alison Pill from American Horror Story, Harry Treadway from Cockney vs. Zombies, Issa Briones from Takers, San Diego Cabrera from Heroes and Transformers The Last Night, and Michelle Hurd from Ash versus the Evil Dead and Blind Spot. There's no official release date, but CBS All Access is looking to have the show on its screens by the end of the year, and it will be available in the UK and other territories on Amazon Prime.
That's right. Yeah. That's. I mean, I've been watching quite a bit of Amazon Prime of late, anyway. So, because I'm finding out some good films that have just perked my interest. But yeah, no, some people are moaning why isn't it on Netflix? Well, tough. They didn't pay they thought they'd just branch out on another platform.
I think it's because Netflix were really dissatisfied with this first season of Star Trek and how it performed, and basically turned around to CBS All Access and said, no, we're not paying any more money, but you owe us because we basically paid for the whole of the first season. And I think they've had a bit of a fallout, is what I'd heard.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how it's progressed with viewing figures for the second season, which we'll touch a bit later. But it was interesting. I mean, there's been a couple of posts there. There was a picture there with Jonathan Frakes with him as well at one point. Now, I'm wondering whether we will get to see old cast members have some little cameos in it.
That would be nice.
Because this is really going to be a next generation show, isn't it?
Well, it's like a next generation show, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still next generation because you've got the captain from the Enterprise D in that, and I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they're going to take this and what the stories are going to be like. But
don't forget, they've also said it's not going to be the Captain Picard that we've all known.
No,
it's going to changed.
He's probably a grumpy old sod by now. He's been through a lot of crap, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's a bit long in the tooth, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see on that. I mean, I can't imagine that he's actually in a starship anymore. I should imagine he's on a desk job.
Possibly. He'll be an admiral, won't he?
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. But according to the stories that I've been reading, CBS want to ensure that there is always a Star Trek show on of some description. As in new format, not the old ones.
Well, anyway, Netflix have got all the old Star Treks on there anyway.
But they're not owned by CBS.
No, they won't be, no.
And for one of the episodes of Discovery, they had to pay quite a lot.
I bet they did, because that's the episode I want to talk about.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. So, new Star Wars films. So, it's been announced.
Sorry, I'm going to fall asleep.
It's been announced that plans for future Star Wars films starting from December 2022. So this is a new trilogy, and then 2 further movies will be released every 2 years from now.
Yeah, this is going to be for a new generation of Star Wars fans.
This is like Star Wars The Next Generation. It's not going to link to the existing any part of the 9 films that are going to be by 2022. It's not going to link to any of them, evidently.
No.
There's no details of the story, but Game of Thrones duo David Benioff and D.B. Weiss will develop the movies, and evidently, somehow, Rian Johnson's trilogy is still on the cards.
I don't know. Well, let's get the other films out of the way first.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, we talked last time about the fact that the new Star Wars film is entitled Rise of the Skywalker, and you heard Palpatine's laugh, and it's been confirmed that Ian McDiarmid will reprise his role as the Emperor.
I'm hoping it's not going to fail us from that point of view, but we'll see. Any time will tell.
Well, the Emperor did come back in the graphic novels.
Yeah.
So, and it was a good story as well.
We might even get another. Will we get another trailer? Because Comic-Con's nearly around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too far away.
So there'll be loads of news from there, hopefully.
Yeah. So, other bit of news: Game of Thrones. This week, Snowfest. This week we saw the last ever Game of Thrones in its current format, at least.
I have to stay away from spoilers in case I ever do get to watch it, so that's pretty good from my point of view, because sometimes people will catch a show a few years later and say, why didn't I watch it at the time? But yeah, I have kept away from spoilers, and I will intend to keep that like that as well. Yeah,
and well, evidently, fans are disappointed with this.
So it didn't meet their expectations, no?
No. Game of Thrones has been a show that has built up characters slowly over the course of seasons and rewarded viewers payoffs for reward viewers with a payoff of having a sort of like special episode that accumulated in whatever it was storyline that they were building, focused on that particular issue. Now, the problem is this season, they've only done 6 episodes. Although, if you actually look at the running time of the episodes, they've filmed the equivalent of 8, but it's been over 6 episodes. Because some episodes have been longer. But what's happened is fans are not happy because lots of storylines have been closed off really abruptly. I mean, really abruptly.
So they've done the complete opposite then, haven't they?
Yeah, they've taken the formula that they had and gone, do you know what? That's worked for the last 7 or 8 years. We'll do something entirely different that won't work this time. Even though, and people are saying that they've rushed it, even though it's been a year and a half between seasons. But they've rushed it because they haven't done enough episodes. And fans are so annoyed that there has been a petition for HBO to do a do-over of the entire season. And there has been over 1 million signatures.
That's just, well...
And no, I haven't signed it before anybody says. I couldn't find a link.
Well, do you know what? Who knows? Because you remember back in the day, I mean, when we had petitions via letter, and we had one for Star Trek, didn't we, that kept it going for a third season?
Yeah, we did, but you've also got to... Well, they would literally have to take the show that they've done and throw it in the bin and refilm it because of what they've done. But
all I'm saying is that the voice of reason sometimes can win.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Might not, but who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, I thought I would highlight it. I mean, for me, I think that there was this season's done a couple of things wrong. First off is, and I know that a lot of the battles took place at night, but you could hardly frigging see.
Well, yeah, but I mean, other people have been joking, saying that the picture was pretty too dark.
Yeah, well, somebody had put on a joke of showing Sean Bean getting beheaded in season 1 with the comment of, this show is dark, and then season 8, and it's just black, and it just says, this show is dark, and it's entirely right, because I was watching the first few episodes, like when the Battle of Winterfell, I was watching that, and it was a semi-dark room, but on the morning, and I couldn't see the screen because of the amount of ambient light in the room, and that was with the curtains drawn and with the brightness right up. I still couldn't see what was going on. It was ridiculous. It really was. They could have lit it better. And the other thing as well is, in terms of exposition and dialogue, there was, in the whole of the 6 episodes, you could put all of the dialogue in half of a show. There was so little talking. A lot of it was either battles or people brooding and pausing and looking, furtive looks and that sort of stuff. It was disappointing in comparison to the quality of that show for years to have gone down to this one. Don't get me wrong, the battles were fantastic when you could see them. And some of the things that happened to characters were, if you stayed away from spoilers, quite shocking. But some of them also didn't feel that they were right either. And I'm not sure, but I'm hearing a buzzing every now and again. Is your phone quite near the mic?
No, nowhere near.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know why that is then. Anyway, so, yeah, it's interesting that 1 million fans have actually signed a petition for a do-over. But from what I can gather, I don't think the actors want to do a do-over anyway.
No, unless they get paid for it.
Yeah, and when you think about Cersei, she got paid like $1 million an episode for this, and she was hardly on it. She said about 6 lines in the whole season.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. Granted, there were quite powerful lines when she did do it, but she didn't say a lot. Again, she was another one who stood around, paused, and looked grumpy most of the time when she was on. So, yeah, it's interesting, but just one of them things. So, last bit of news. I think it's last bit of news. Last bit of news. Avengers Endgame.
It's close.
It is very close. So, Avengers Endgame is now the second highest grossing movie worldwide of all time, with a 2.6 billion dollar take, with Avatar having a worldwide dominance of 2.788 million.
It should overpass it. I don't know if they'll include other sales later on in the year.
Well,
for this.
I think it's got to overtake, because...
this will be just box office, I should imagine, but it will eventually trickle over, I would have thought. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't make it.
Well, certainly with all of the merchandise and stuff like that, it's only 150 million away, which for this film is not. That's peanuts, really. But it has beaten Avatar for the domestic views in America, because they had $760 million worth, as opposed to Avengers Endgame having 774 million.
Yeah.
And Titanic obviously being number 2 at 2.18 billion or 659 million domestic in America.
So, yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's well on target, and it's a great film.
It's all right, isn't it?
A little bit all right, yeah.
All the buzz has died down now, so...
Yeah, it has. Because it's, well, everybody who I think who was really wanting to see it for the first time has.
Mm.
You know, unless you're being hit by your truck or someone had someone very large sitting on you for the last few weeks, you'd have got to see it by now if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Steve, do you want to do the cinema releases?
Okay. Three movies here. We got the 22nd of May, we've got Aladdin, which is the remake in full colour and real people, as we say.
Yeah, the real life action.
Real life action. Whether or not this will do well is another matter. On the 24th of May, though, we got Rocket Man, which is the biopic of Elton John. And we got is it a Pixar movie? I don't think it is it? Is it DreamWorks?
I think it might be DreamWorks.
And Secret Life of Pets 2, which the first one wasn't bad, actually.
No, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a good film. And
the trailer, whether or not that's all the strongest jokes from the movie, but it did make me laugh.
Well, it wasn't the last film. It definitely wasn't all of the good jokes in the trailer.
Mm. But yeah, it's not a lot out at the moment. But
well, we've only got a few weeks for Spider-Man because the Spider-Man trailer's dropped.
Well, that dropped about a week or two ago now.
Yeah, well, we haven't done it for over a week, have we?
Yeah, we mentioned the Spider-Man trailer.
Did we? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did.
It's Illumination Entertainment and Universal Pictures releases this movie, Secret Life of Dogs.
So ain't DreamWorks.
Yeah, it ain't DreamWorks.
Mm. Do you want to do DVD releases?
Yeah, sure. Not much, but a couple of ones. We have Glass on Blu-ray, 4K and DVD, which I have seen now.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla on 4K Blu-ray. And that was about it for me for what has been released. I don't know if there's anything that you.
Well, I can just see an old classic there of 633 Squadron, which you might not know is the war movie for, was it? No, that was a Dan Bus something of now. So anyway, that was a war movie.
I was going to say, is that one with David Niven in it?
Not the one I'm thinking of that's got David Niven. It's a different movie, but. Is another one I'm thinking of. But there's, other than that, I'm just scrolling through, not a lot at all, to be honest. Completely quiet. I think next month's going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, we're starting on the run up to Christmas, summer then, aren't we?
Yeah, because we are going to, I'm tempted, but I'm not sure if I will or not still yet. I mean, my wife said to me not to buy anything now until after my birthday. So... I haven't been buying anything because I've given her a few things to
Amazon wish list, is it?
There is there's an eBay / Amazon wish list. Only a couple of things, bits and pieces, and but the 4K Blu-ray for Batman Returns comes out on the 3rd of June.
Cool. And
I need to look into. I know the guy to talk to about that. I need to know what the quality is. Because the Blu-ray's not bad, actually, but I don't know if we're going to get any improvement or not. I mean, they've got an amazing improvement with Alien, so why not? They can do it, but it depends on the print and everything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, I picked up the Captain America trilogy.
Yeah, you did. You talked about it last week, didn't you? But they're newer films, so they look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But I've also now got all of the Avengers movies in 4K. Yeah,
you should wait. You should have waited until the next one gets released in the box set.
Yeah, but I already had one in 4K.
Yeah.
And I was lots of thought, shall I get the box set?
No, you should have waited until the new one comes out. You should have waited.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about it being in a box. I just wanted the films.
Yeah.
In the best quality.
I mean, but to be honest, at the moment now, I think I'm probably sort of, has a word, exhausted with superheroes at the minute, as in Marvel. So it's nice to take a step back from it.
I'm quite happy with them.
Oh no, don't get me wrong, I'm quite happy with them. But what I'm saying is to move on to something else for a while, and you can take a step back and have a breather now until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, or until Spider-Man comes out.
Well, yeah, I'm so tempted to see that.
Well, Tom Holland, he's good as Spider-Man. I thought no one was going to be as good as Tobey Maguire, but I do like Tom Holland as a Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah. Okay, so come on then, Steve. What have you been watching?
So, Chynoble, episode 3's out last night.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it or know what it's about, I strongly... If you're a younger viewer, should we say viewer, or should I say listener?
Listener, yeah.
If you're not sure what it is back in April 1986, there was an explosion at the Chynoble nuclear power plant in Russia. So it was the Soviet Union at the time. It's not now. And it's the worst man-made catastrophic disaster to ever happen on this planet. And it tells a tale of the events going through what happened. And it is the drama is there. It's just awe-inspiring, really, to know actually how this all happened and occurred.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing it in the newspaper back in '86.
I remember watching the news and they were talking about the cloud of nuclear waste that was washing over Europe.
Yeah, bellowing out, and it's a really good drama. It's a shame they haven't got the box set for it because these are trickling out week by week.
Yeah,
and there's only 5 episodes in total, so we've got another 2 to go.
Well, I started watching it and then my wife said, "Oh God, no, that'll be depressing. I don't want to watch it," so I had to switch it off.
No,
and I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to watch it all compressed and binge it.
Yeah. No, there's quite a few people in that I recognise as actors. And there's one guy in it. I don't know. Did I mention Chynoble last week? I don't think I did I?
No.
And there's one guy in it. I saw this guy. And he's this one. He's Russian. He's a huge guy, massive guy. He's absolutely huge. And I sort of nudged the missus. And I went, "Oh my word, look who it is!" Do you remember Goodnight Sweetheart?
Yeah.
Do you remember Sparrow's mate?
Yes.
It's him.
Yeah.
But he's like ballooned, huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah, the Liverpudlian bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's massive, and one of the main characters in it. What's his name? I don't remember now. Oh yes, his name in the drama. His name's Valery Legasov, and it's Jared Harris, who was in certain Resident Evil movies, if you remember.
Yeah. And
played the father. I think he started in Resident Evil 2 because his daughter was what was the Queen Hive in Underground, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he's a very good actor. But yeah, it's a brilliant show, really good. Also, as we're airing this now, or you're airing or listening to this, by Thursday you will be able to see the final of The Big Bang Theory. There's 2 episodes back to back for this. I'm not going to say a dicky bird about it. It was sad. It was funny. It was happy. Gave you all those different emotions. It tied up a few of the storylines to finish them off. Not all. Some I'd like to have seen more of how it would have panned out, maybe. But to be honest, it is very well done by the writers to finish the show off.
Mm.
And as I say, this is now the longest running TV comedy that's ever been out there now, and it well surpassed Friends at some point as well.
Mm.
But it's fantastic. I know you're not really that bothered too much, are you, about Big Bang? It's not been your.
In theory, it should have been my favourite comedy ever, but in practice, I just didn't sync with it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following it for 12 years now?
Yeah.
Believe it or not. And it's been going longer than the Marvel Universe has, believe it or not, if you think about it. But I've loved every show, every episode. There's been a few highs and lows, obviously, but you can't get it right every time. But overall, it's a fantastic show, and it was sad to see it come to a close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great that we've still got Young Sheldon. That'll be going on. That comes to a close, I think, this week as well.
Is that close for good or close for the season?
No, just close for the season. And I think that will keep the life of Sheldon move on, because we'll be seeing the backstory more.
Yeah.
Which is still very interesting, because you're seeing stuff now that you know why he's like he is, if you're with me. and why he says Bazinga, but that came out earlier in one of the episodes, why he says it, why it's one of his things to say, sort of thing. So there's all these little nuggets you'll pick up from the original show that goes back to how it was sort of spawned. So that is that. So the last thing, I've been catching up on a bit of Star Trek Discovery.
Yep.
I'm up to the episode where they are trying to discover how to capture the Red Angel.
Yep.
So I'm halfway through that episode. And I just wanted to talk about the one a little bit further back, where we then discover that I suppose everyone else has seen it by now except for me, isn't it? So we can talk about it openly.
If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, because we are going to spoil it now. So be warned, just skip ahead.
Yeah, if you're that interested. So we now learn that Captain Pike has already been to Talos 4.
Yes.
And has already been through the episode as we know it called The Cage.
Yes.
And my beef with this episode, where it starts off as if it was Star Trek.
Yeah.
The original series. And you see to Pike it's flashback of what he's been through. But to us, we're watching the 1966 or whatever episode of The Cage. And we see little chunks of it. To sort of, if you haven't, I think it's more for people that maybe have never seen the original series.
I think that it was, and they had to spend a fortune to get that footage because it's not owned by them.
But I don't like the way they did it. I don't like the way because this version of Star Trek is in a more technological era, even though it's before Kirk and Spock. And we see that the ships are better, the technology's better. I don't like the way this sits with it.
I understand where you're coming from, but I just write it out of my head as a visual upgrade.
I just can't because I love the original show that much. It's very difficult for me.
But I love the original show. Out of all of the Star Treks, the original series is still my much preferred one. I would rather watch the 79 episodes of that than the 7 seasons of the other ones.
But what it is, right, is that I think what they should have done would have been sacrilege a little bit, but instead of spending all that money on
it as in them.
Yes. Or even make it one episode, but then condense it. I mean, it was only one episode originally, The Cage, anyway. So they could have done that maybe as an episode earlier.
I think that it would have probably have been, the reason why they did it the way they did is because it would have been cheaper, first off, even though it was expensive to buy that footage, but rather than reshoot it. Secondly, would have been about time.
Yeah, but they might not need to do an episode. They could have just done those scenes, but actually filmed them in this idyllic, I don't know what the right word to use, in this version of that timeline. They could have had him going back, but film it as now. So you had the Talosians there, you had the planet. So what you could have done is you could have actually done some little snippets, which would have been his memory of, and we still would have got what it meant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just didn't have a problem with it.
I mean, I even said to the missus, we're on Talos 4, and she sort of looks at me and it went over her head sort of thing. And I said, I bet you Michael Burnham's going to actually touch those plants and you're going to hear the sound go quiet. You just knew that was going to happen.
Well, that was a homage to the original one. Yeah. I think if they had have reshot that bit, then the response would have been they're writing over the original, and it would have been a negative response. I like the way that they brought in the original in exactly the same way as at the end of Star Trek Beyond, where Spock, or in the middle of it, rather, where Spock opens up that picture of the crew of the Enterprise, and it's the Prime universe rather than the Kelvin universe.
Yeah, because you see them all in the Star Trek 2 uniforms.
Yeah, because then it creates the bridge between the shows, and I quite like that. Because one of the issues with it was everybody arguing about the fact that it's visually different from the original, it doesn't tie in and stuff like that. And I think they tried to address a bit of that.
You see, I haven't seen the rest of the season yet. And there's probably another 5 episodes maybe to go, maybe, something like that.
About 13 episodes or 14 in this series.
So I'm not sure which episode Red Angel is in the list. I haven't looked, so I don't want to scroll down and see any sort of spoilers. But I don't know if my thoughts will change. I'm not sure, but there's still more to come in this.
I think it's a fantastic show. I think that they've done such a good job of reimagining Star Trek. And they also this time they answer the question as to why we're not using spore drives as well.
But don't say anything. Don't spoil.
I'm not going to. There's 14 episodes in this.
Yeah, but don't say anything. You don't need to say. I don't want any words coming out of your mouth.
Right.
Okay. But
are you on episode 10?
It's called Red Angel.
Right. Okay. So you've had the Project Daedalus episode where one of the crew, the cyborg.
Yeah, she was sort of like taken over, weren't she?
Right, so you've got 4 more episodes to go.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, wait till you get to episode 12. There is a scene on there, and it'll make your skin go goosebumpy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, seriously.
But you see, my worry now is, the next thing they're going to do is, they are going to then, with I don't know whether or not Captain Pike could get his own show. You don't need to say anything on this, because this is just me surmising. Come the end of this season, it may well be that'd be his time up, because that's what it will be. Whether or not they could give him his own series, if they wanted to do that, then would they progress that, and then would we then see a new Kirk and Spock, and then they will start doing the original 5-year mission? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. All I can say is, when I saw the last episode, I was so excited to see about the future of Discovery. That's all I'm going to say. But what that show and anything that spins off might bring, the prospect is very exciting. I absolutely loved Jason Isaac as Lorca. Straight in at number 2 for me is in Best Captain, with only Kirk above him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pike's doing really well.
Anson Mount, he's sort of like, he's not so much as nibbling at the ankle of William Shatner as being Best Captain, but more like punching him in the stomach. Do you know what I mean? I think he did such a fantastic job, because the thing is about Pike is we know how he ends up. Yeah? He ends up by the cage.
He ends up back at Talos 4.
He ends up back at Talos 4 in a wheelchair, and the Thalosians give him the impression that he still has a body that works. Yeah. That's the end game for him. We know that. We also know about the story about him when he went to Talos 4. What we don't know is all of the stuff in between. And
don't say anything.
I'm not going to.
No, I'm just going to say my feelings, all right, and what I'm thinking. And the only thing, even though we know about it, because really, to be honest, one of my favourite, even though I've got some really good favourites, one double episode of the original series I love to watch is The Menagerie.
Yeah, part 1 and 2, which had the cage spliced right throughout it.
Yeah, because what had happened was, when back in the VHS days, and Paramount decided to release the Star Trek episodes as pairs on VHS tapes.
Yes, they did.
And the first one they gave us was The Cage. Oh, I did. I had them all up I had all 35, 36 tapes, whatever it would have been.
I had all of them, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager.
Yeah,
and the movies.
They're all burnt and disappeared now. But they brought out The Cage because that was the first time we didn't do nothing about it. And I do love The Cage. And I'm trying to think if it was in black and white then, or was it in colour? I think it was mixed black and white, which is the same way it is now if you go to the DVD, go to the Blu-rays. But we know that there was some sort of explosion, whether it was a nuclear explosion of some kind that put Captain Pike in his wheelchair that he's in the menagerie. So I'm assuming we may well see that, but don't say anything. We'll move on. That's it. Don't say any more.
I'm not going to, but I think Anson Mount is brilliant. I think he has done such a fantastic job as Pike. And like I said, episode 12, if that doesn't make you go, oh my God, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Even more so than when they went back to Talos 4. Trust me on this. You get those watched after we've done the show tonight. Get on to episode 12 as quick as you can.
Well, I won't be doing it tonight. I've got to be up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'll just be late for work.
No, I've got training. I've got a long day because I've got to go to Bristol for some training.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to slope off quietly at 1 o'clock and travel to London for my War of the Worlds VR immersive experience.
All right.
So it's going to be a damn long day.
Okay.
but yeah, no, I'll probably get them tidied up by the bank holiday weekend, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, you got to.
Or if not during it, you know.
You got to.
But anyway,
because I can't wait to talk to you about the end. I really can't. You're frustrating the hell out of me by not watching it.
Anyway, what have you been watching? Let's get on with this because I'm really knackered. So
okay,
let's move on.
So for me, I've been binge watching Friday Night Dinner.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
No. At the moment, there's only one thing I'm watching when I turn Netflix.
Yeah,
That's Star Trek. So I don't see what else.
Well, this is on Netflix, but it's also on 4OD. There's actually 5 seasons on 4OD, whereas there's only 3 seasons on Netflix. The show is about Shabbat dinner in a middle-class secular Jewish family. It's set in London, and it stars Paul Ritter as Martin, who's the father. The mother, Jackie's played by Tamsin Greig from Episodes. One of the sons, Adam, is Simon Bird from The In-Betweeners. You know, the one who had the briefcase?
Yes, yeah. With glasses.
And then the other one, the other son, Johnny, is Tom Rossithan, who's on Plebs.
Right.
If you've seen that. So, the show, every week, it's about their Friday night evening, which is often interrupted by Adam and Johnny constantly pranking each other. And also the next door neighbour, Jim, who keeps coming in and saying, say, hello, Jackie, you look lovely this evening and all that. He's played by Mark Heap from Spaced and Big Train. And he has a dog called Wilson, who's like the most lovely sort of Alsatian dog that you ever see. I tell you, absolutely love the dog. Fantastic. But it's just such a really good offbeat, sort of like over the top comedy. And there is a 6th season that is scheduled for 2020 as well. Mm-hmm. But a real good laugh, well worth investing a few hours in it if you've never seen it. Like I said, if you don't have Netflix, you can watch the whole lot on 4OD. Yeah. Which is well worth it. Have you ever seen it?
No, there's so much. Actually, there's so much in Netflix now. It's oversaturated.
But it's finding the good stuff in Netflix as well, because there's a lot of dross. But then again, there is in Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it actually easier to navigate Netflix than I do Amazon Prime to find the good stuff. Because what I don't like on Amazon Prime is they mix up the Prime stuff with the non-Prime stuff.
Well, there's a sticker attached to them. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but sometimes you forget, don't you? You think, I'll watch that, and then you press a button and it says, like $9.99 to buy the season. And you think, no, it's not what I want. I really hate the fact that they do that. I'd like them to do a thing so that you could just have Prime on. They used to have it so that you could toggle it in the settings to say only show Prime shows, but they don't have it anymore. Or at least not on the app that I've got on my TV. Anyway, it's a different issue. So, next film is Iron Sky, The Coming Race.
Never heard of it.
Have you heard of Iron Sky?
No, I don't think I have.
Iron Sky, this film was released a little while ago. It's basically about Nazis from the Second World War who live on the moon, but have been living on the moon since the Second World War, and it's brought up to date. And then they go back to Earth. sort of thing. That's the story of the original one. This is part of a trilogy of movies.
Yeah.
The Coming Race is the second movie out of the trilogy. And it's set 20 years after the events of Iron Sky. The former Nazi moon base has become the last refuge of mankind after Earth was devastated by a nuclear war. But buried deep underneath the wastelands lies a power that could save the last of humanity or destroy it once and for all. So the movie's basically a Finnish German sci-fi comedy, but it's done in English. Mm-hmm. And it's based on the Vril, The Power of the Coming Race, which was a novel by Edward Bulwer-Lytton, published in 1870, evidently. Mm-hmm. So it's just an example of science fiction, and it's sometimes cited as the first book of its genre. Probably one of the most famous actors of the movie is Udo Kier, who's a German actor that's known for his role in the movie Downsizing as Conrad, or on Blade he was Dragonetti.
Okay.
Yeah, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And the voice of Dr. Peter Strub in Call of Duty World War II as well. He played that as well. He's also been on Johnny Mnemonic, Case Ventura, Pet Detective as well. So, like I said, the movie takes place 20 years in the future from the previous one. I would recommend watching the previous one in order for you to get a rough idea of some of who the characters are. There's been a lot of new characters obviously brought in. I mean, the best way to describe it is it's a high budget B movie. Mm-hmm. It has that feel about it, but that's not to say it's a negative thing. It's quite amusing at times as well. It's complete with over the top corny story jokes, and it's just basically a switch your brain off happy diversion for a couple of hours.
Okay.
And you can get Iron Sky and The Coming Race as a 2-disc box set, I think on Blu-ray for about £13 from HMV, which isn't bad.
Cool. Not bad at all.
No. And then the last one is going to be linking to what I'm calling this week's show, which is If the Decepticons Find It, Then Our People Are Truly Finished.
Yes, Decepticons give it away, don't they?
They do somewhat. I've watched Bumblebee.
What's it like? Is it all right?
Yeah, I mean, effectively speaking, it's an origin story for Bumblebee about when he first comes to Earth. It's set before the events of all of the other Transformers movies. You see a bit more of Cybertron and the war on Cybertron as well.
Yeah.
But, just basically chronicles everyone's favourite yellow Transformer as he runs from Cybertron to protect Earth from the Transformer Decepticon war. Mm-hmm. Great special effects as always. These movies always look good, and this just looks even better because the effects are just getting slowly better and better. I think that the way that the story is imparted is improved as well. You find out why Bumblebee can't talk, because he can talk at the beginning of the movie. And then he gets it.
Is that a spoiler?
Well, no, not really. I don't think. I think everybody kind of realised.
Did he talk in the because he was in the others, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He didn't talk. No, it was like he talked via the radio, which is how he learns to talk on these movies as well. But
yeah,
the special effects, the CGI, fantastic on this, and you're just seeing them transform and everything. Raises a few questions about the later movies, but ignore some of that, because I think sometimes you can overanalyze films, and okay, maybe not 100% consistent, but
yeah,
I think this is a good fun movie which is worth watching for Transformers fans, and better than some of the more recent movies that have been out there, in the franchise. So it's well worth investing some time in just having a watch of it, even if you're just renting it.
Yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed it much more than I did like Far Side of the Moon and that.
Mm. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So In that case, then anything else, Steve?
Not really. As I said, I did watch a couple of old movies, but that was just to chill out. Just some good old fashioned night. The best year of movies was 1982, so just sat and watched a couple of those. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I watch anything else? What was the last thing I discussed? We did it a week and a half ago. I did talk about the Sky movie, didn't I? That came out that was simultaneously released.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned that. I haven't watched it yet. I've got the Meg to watch.
Never fancied that, I have to admit.
Well, it's park your brain, basically, isn't it? And just enjoy it for what it is.
Last time we were talking all about zombies.
Yeah,
and zombie flesh eaters.
Yeah, because I've watched three of those now. So I've watched two of them. I've watched Flesh Eaters 2, well, Zombie 2 and Zombie 3. But what I've been doing is I've just suddenly decided to rip my DVDs, the ones I haven't watched yet, and put them on my Plex server.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore then I can go on the Plex app on my TV in the main room and just stream them to the TV off there. So I've just been burning a few of my DVDs off at the moment as well.
Yeah, I could never get Plex to work.
It's a doddle, mate. Honestly, it's absolute doddle.
No, seriously, I tried, and I'm not incompetent in terms of using a computer.
No, you're not. That's why I'm saying it's something silly that you haven't done, because there's a few rules to Plex that you have to follow, and if you don't follow those, it won't work properly.
Yeah.
But you can always ask me about that another time.
Yeah. Yeah,
so should we do questions?
Yeah, let's move on to listener questions.
John, what's happening to us?
Okay, so listener questions, and as always, we have Mark, our good old ace plant man, asking us the first question is, how good, he says, does how good you are playing a game always affect how much you enjoy it?
I think it does, really, doesn't it? If you're not playing well with the game, you're not getting on with it, you might end up not playing it again and think, well, sod it, 3M soldiers.
Yeah.
Where if it's a game you're playing well, you're enjoying the story, you want to see it to the end, like, say, Tomb Raider, for example, is I think that's how it works, really.
I mean, we've talked before about how a game can dictate your mood, and your mood can dictate what game you play.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think it really does depend a lot on the game, because when you think about it, when you first start playing a game, you're not necessarily good at it, are you?
Mm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that it affects how much you enjoy it if it's got a compelling story.
Mm.
But if it goes on for too long, if you don't improve, then it does start to affect how much you're enjoying it.
Mm.
But that's all about that difficulty learning curve for that game rather than anything else, I think. And it's about them getting that balance right when they create the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there are bad games that I'm good at that I enjoy playing, and there are good games that I'm good at that I don't actually enjoy, as it were. So it's a bit hard to tell, but I think a lot of the time, if you are better at a game, then you will enjoy it more.
Hmm. Yeah, you've got to be, I think, well, firstly in the right frame of mind, as you say.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're enjoying the game, you're going to love it. And, if you're going to play a game, I don't know, let me think, it's going to be a game that you just don't get on with.
Fallout 4.
And you don't enjoy it, do you?
I hate it.
There you go.
I would rather give myself a lobotomy than I would play that game.
There's your answer.
Yeah. So, yeah, just some games. I think it's just more of some games just don't gel with you.
I mean, we're all different, first of all. We're all different human beings.
Yeah. We
all like different games. Some games we like the same. Some games we're gonna be completely different against.
Mm.
So, is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So,
question 2?
Yeah.
Will VR still be the future of gaming?
No.
It will still be there in some form, I feel.
I think it'll be a niche form of gaming.
I mean, thinking about Back to the Future, for example, and what we were singing then, with headsets on and stuff like that. I think VR there'll be some kind of VR still kicking around. It'll just be improved probably as well. But right now, I think if you've got the right game you like in VR, it works well.
I think that VR...
Can't believe I'm saying this, but there you go.
I think VR is going to disappear, but still be here. Because I think that what people will start to consider VR headsets as is more personal screens.
We have it already, don't we?
Well, yeah, you have your mobile and that, but to me, VR is more like the next gen of your iPad kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rather than anything else, because I think that in the future I could see VR units, the main part of the market for VR units be it morph into like a, what's a good description? Like an iPod for movies. Do you know what I mean? So, you can sit and watch a movie on what is a VR headset, but it'd be like a personal screen or a personal movie player, whatever. You could sit and watch that in 3D and all of that, but while your family watches a normal
we've
TV.
got that now. We've got that now. I mean, we've got the little Samsung, for example. We've got the Samsung VR headset.
Yeah, but it's not something that's really, really taken off. And I think if it was to take off, I think that that's probably a more likely way. And I think that the games is more of a happen chance. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, I mean, they're great little devices. If you wanted to, like, I remember watching the World Cup in 3D as such, or in VR, should we call it, behind the post.
Yeah.
One missus was watching probably EastEnders or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah.
But it's going to be around. I can't believe I'm saying this, but what VR experiences I have done, I have enjoyed.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to take over.
Oh God, no! It'll be a side, just to one side. You'd have the games, and you'd have VR. It'd be and it depends again on the developers. I mean, Sony really push it. I wouldn't need to put my money on it, but there will be a new VR unit at some point later in the next few years that will work with the new PlayStation 5. Although we know that the version 2 will work with it anyway out of the box. So
yeah. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay, on to Facebook questions then. So Craig Cole has asked, what were your favourite games in the arcades and why? He loved Centipede and Gallagher 88. Had to get my initials on the leaderboards.
Well, when I was playing those sort of games, mainly I was playing them in the pubs.
Yeah.
So we had the desktop sit-down version for Space Invaders.
Yeah.
I had the original Gallagher, as it was. And what's the one where you've got a spaceship going from left to right and you're in caves?
Scramble.
Was it called Scramble?
Yeah.
And then there's another one, I think it was called Missile Command, when you had the rolling ball.
Yeah.
And you had to stop the missiles destroying the city and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And what else was there? Oh, Asteroids.
Yeah.
To name a few.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I did used to like Asteroids when that first came out. I remember the summer clubs that your secondary school does.
Don't know. I never had one for me when I was there, but yeah.
No, that was because you used chalkboards and blackboards, didn't you? Slates.
We did, yeah, and we had chalk. We had the chalk rubber, what we're going to call it, duster, was thrown at our heads very well.
Yeah.
But my kids went to summer schools and stuff like that, so I knew about it.
Yeah, well, I remember these were like new things when I went to school, and they were all done in the youth club, which was part of Stotesy School where I went to, and there used to be an Asteroids machine in there, and I remember just going with, those bags you get from the bank, 6 or 7 of them for the week, full of 5p's, because it was 5p a play. And it was a big old 5p's as well, not the little ones you get now. And just standing on that and just playing that the whole time while everybody else was doing things like, doing wall climbing or doing the tubes on BMXs and stuff like that. So I did used to love Space Invaders, and I think that was before I even had a computer. But for me, the sort of like standout games were Ridge Racer. We used to have Ridge Racer at the local nightclub here where I live, and I used to always have my name at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And also another great fun one, which came out on the PlayStation in the end, was Time Crisis with the gun.
Yeah, I mean, those sort of arcade games I used to see in the bowling alley corner.
Yeah.
You know, with Sega Rally, for example.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a motorbike version of that as well. But that would have been probably in my teenage years. I was probably still doing more teenage things. Yeah,
that was sort of like early 90s to mid-90s, wasn't it?
No, me, it would be 80s. Sorry.
Well, why did Ridge Racer come out earlier for you or something?
No, well, the only place I played Ridge Racer on was probably on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But Sega Rally has been going for years in arcades, along with a few others. And Time Crisis, that's been kicking around for years as well. And they're still there in some places anyway.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to go back to 70, well, not 79, probably 80, 81, was when I was seeing those arcade games in the pubs.
Mm.
When I was drinking, going out, getting drunk and all sorts, and going to clubs and getting up to all sorts of mischief.
Yeah.
That we won't discuss in this podcast. Anyway. Yeah, so that was it. So I read Nicky's, shall we?
Yeah, got it.
Because I've heard a little bit about this, but not too much. So Nicky says, so it looks like Robert Pattinson is going to be the next Batman. He says, I'm happy about this, but it seems that the internet isn't. Why do people do this? Everyone complained about Beetlejuice being Batman, and Brokeback Mountain guy being Joker. And
does he mean Heath Ledger?
Yeah, obviously. And the best Batman and Joker, respectively. I did see the posts about Robert Pattinson being the next Batman.
Yeah.
But I didn't dive into it now. Is this more to do with the movies? Or
yeah, it's the movies.
So I remember him being in Twilight. That's what I remember him from, obviously. I think most of us are going to say that.
Yeah.
And he was in that for 3 movies over a spate of 4 or 5 years or whatever. So he's got a bit of a typecast on that, hasn't he? Being a vampire. And now he's going to be... Well, there you go, look.
Yeah. It works because vampires turn into bats.
There you go, yeah. So...
I think for me, I'm going to suspend judgment.
Is he not hard enough?
I'm not sure, because I never watched the Twilight movies. It just didn't interest me that much, because they were basically chick flicks with vampires in them. I don't know. I'll wait and see. He would not have been anywhere near my top list of people who I would have thought to have played Batman, to be honest.
Bring back Michael Keaton. That's what I say.
Well, there's
a very weathered Batman.
There is a campaign, because there's going to be a Batman of the Future TV series, and or a movie. I can't remember, but the talk was about fans wanted Michael Keaton to come back as an older Batman, sort of training a younger Batman.
Oh, it could have been Robin upgrading himself, couldn't it?
Well, that's what Robin does do in the end, after he becomes Nightwing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does go back and become Batman in the end.
I mean...
Well, one version
I don't know. I don't know where Gotham sits with Arrow at the minute. Obviously, I've seen them visit the place in Arrow. I've got about 9 episodes of Arrow behind at the moment.
Mm.
But, you see, with Batgirl's going to be in that series, isn't it?
She's going to have her own series.
Well, yeah, because Arrow's finishing next year.
Yeah, so that's going to take over.
That'll take its place.
Yeah.
The Flash will still be there. I'll be surprised if Supergirl lasts one more season, to be honest, because the ratings are flagging. But yeah, maybe Robert Pattinson would be better to be a TV Batman than a movie Batman.
Don't know.
But
an earlier Batman.
Yeah.
Younger, less experienced.
Anyway.
We'll wait and see. So, Nicky's second question is, have you ever walked out of the cinema before, either because a movie was bad or something else? I had to leave watching Rambo 4 because the machine gun bit at the end was far too loud. I wasn't the only one too. After we went back in that bit for the ending.
That was with the 50 cal when he's on about.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got weak ears. My ears are fine, but I don't know. Maybe some cinemas have a bit too loud. I don't know.
Yeah. So have you ever left the cinema then?
I've walked out. I walked out during Ready Player One because I thought we were seeing a 2D version, and it was 3D, and they didn't give me any glasses, so I quickly ran out, get some glasses, and come back in.
Yeah.
So I didn't miss much. It was very, very early on at the beginning when he's describing the Oasis.
Yeah.
But I've never left a movie because it was bad. I don't think I would ever do that because I want my money's worth still, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, I have one.
I mean, if you do you know what? If you had one of those season passes for the cinema, where you can go as many times as you want,
you could just walk in any screen whenever you liked.
Well, no, you still have to book tickets, but you use your card. But then, if the film is really that bad, you think, well, this guy, man, this is not my cup of tea. And then you would do because you got that pass. You feel that's the way you could do it with that.
Yeah.
So, what film have you walked out on?
A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, what a fantastic movie that is! You're kidding me, right?
No, and to be honest, it was a bit of peer pressure. Because I've done 2 movies. The other one was The Fellowship of the Ring. There's a story behind that. Neither time was I really motivated to leave the cinema, okay? So the first one, A Clockwork Orange, I went with 2 of my friends, and it got to the rape bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my friends just sort of like looked at me and said, "What the hell have you brought us to? This is rubbish." I don't care if it was a banned movie, because they went to see it because it was a banned movie, basically.
Well, yeah, it was. It was banned in the UK for quite a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they went to see it for that reason, and then sort of like saw the reason why it was banned, and so I said, "Come on, we want to go," and they nagged, and I just said, "Right, fine." And then afterwards, when we got to the nightclub, they both turned around and said, "Actually, I'm really interested to know what happened. I wish we'd have stayed."
You want to read the book? That's how tough going.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because all that language is used in the book.
Yeah, exactly. The second time was we went to see Lord of the Rings, myself and my wife. It's the second from only time I ever got her to see a film that I really, really wanted to go and see. That was anything like that. The other one being the second, episode 2 in Star Wars. Attack of the Clones. And they're the only 2 films that I like that she's ever come to see with us. And it was when we were first dating, and I think it was at that point when, you're trying to please each other sort of thing. And she was getting really tetchy because she had to go off somewhere. So we just got past the bit that said, "You shall not pass." And then we've got to go, I've got to get back home, I've got to do this, and so we had to leave. And it was sort of like, it wasn't that much left of the blooming film.
Yeah.
So, another couple of minutes. But, have you ever had to go out to complain about someone in the cinema?
I did, I can't remember why. There was something, it was either... Do you remember the Johnny Depp Alice in Wonderland movie?
Yeah.
I went to see that in 3D. And for some reason I remember walking out of that, but I cannot remember for the life of me why I did. No, I've got a funny feeling. I don't know what the reason was. I think when we got in there, we were right at the front of the screen. And you have to sort of slope back and look up.
Right.
And it was you just couldn't do it. Well, it was either that or for Avatar, that I had to make a second viewing because of what it was. But, yeah, I'll have to ask the missus. She won't remember. No, tell a lie. No, she won't know. She won't remember.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think when you go and see a movie, you normally know what you're going to see.
Yeah, I remember once I went to see the either second or third Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which, bearing in mind, it was a 15.
I tell you what I did do. Just remembered.
Go on.
The second Mummy movie.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in it. It was dreadful.
Yeah.
Was it? No, sorry, tell a lie. It wasn't the second. I think it was the third because obviously...
The Scorpion King one with The Rock.
Because his wife had changed.
Yes.
It wasn't the same woman who is actually... She's married to Daniel Craig,
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't Mrs. Daniel Craig.
No. And I think I fell asleep in that one. And I also... That's what, if I switch off... When I saw... I'm not sure if it was the... How many Sherlock Holmes movies has Robert Downey Jr. done?
2, and he's filming a 3rd.
I've got a funny feeling. I remember something about I wasn't too keen on the second one.
Yeah.
I think I stuck it out though. The first one's brilliant. I love it. Such a good film.
Yeah. No, when we went to see Attack of the Clones, it was one of those funny situations because I think I decorated my wife's bedroom. This was before we got married. Obviously, we don't sleep in separate bedrooms. And she'd said, "Oh, that's fantastic! You like going to cinema? I'll take you. Go and see whatever film that you like. What film do you want to go and see?" Without knowing that the next day, Attack of the Clones was launched. So that was how I managed to get her to go. Yeah. And she fell asleep in the bit, where they're tied up and, the monsters are roaming around. And I remember hearing the bloke in front going, "By God, those monsters sound close." It was my wife snoring behind him. Anyway. But once when I went to the cinema, again with Jane, we went to see Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was whichever one of them was a 15. And it got to one of the action bits. And then you could just hear this crying. And it was a woman with a baby in the cinema. But, and sort of like quite a newborn baby as well. The baby was clearly upset. It was actually overpowering the movie in terms of the volume that this baby was crying. That child should never have been allowed in the cinema screen. And I was sat there, and she was trying to hush this baby, and I just kept turning around my wife and said, I'm gonna have to go and get someone. This is ridiculous, because it was ruining the film for lots of people.
Yeah. And
anyway, someone must have gone out because they were shipped out of the cinema. But what a stupid thing to take a child to go and see a Pirates of the Caribbean movie when they're a baby. Get a babysitter.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you have ever thought going and taking a baby to see a film like that would be a sensible thing to do?
No, I remember one film me and the missus saw, and I said, "Look down the bottom there. There's a woman there with a baby pram." And we didn't hear a dicky bird out of it all through the film. I said they must have given it cowpie and knocked it out.
Yeah.
But when we walked out, it was just full of shopping. So, why you bring a pram? And how'd you bring a pram? I couldn't believe it. I'm a silly cow.
Yeah. I bet the usher went and said, "Oh, let's have a look at your beautiful baby cream crackers."
Yeah, and it's probably some milk,
yeah.
Loaf of bread.
Yeah. Or maybe it was like, "Oh no, don't disturb my baby, the cream crackered."
Moving on. Anyway.
Moving on swiftly. Do you want to do Justin's question?
Yes, so Justin's last question, he says here, who do you think are the current best software studios out there? For me, it's definitely Ubisoft. What do you think?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Ubisoft, actually. Really?
That does surprise me.
At the moment, I think they've nailed it so well with the games they brought out.
Yeah.
Bethesda brought a game out probably for donkeys, so they're not in the running yet until they bring out Starfield or the next Skyrim.
Sorry. Bethesda haven't brought a game out for donkeys. Rage 2. Rage 2 this week.
Oh, no, I'm not even going there.
That's Bethesda. Fallout 76. What's the other?
We don't talk about that one either.
The second Prey game, the first Prey game, all of those been released relatively recently.
I think on a constructive criticism, that the last two big games they've brought out, they've actually nailed it.
I think that I think more than that, to be honest. I think that Ubisoft is the best publisher at the moment because they do have some microtransactions for like cosmetic sort of things in games, which is fine because, you know, if that they give people a choice, there is no need to do them at all. And they don't really throw them in your face, but they give people the option to who want something a little bit different. But, you know, you look at like the gold and the ultimate editions of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was fantastic value because you got 3 games and all of the DLC, because you also got Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Liberation. So, you know, because you got the season pass, which had that in. I think Ubisoft are by far the best games developer at the moment.
Yeah.
I think you could say some other ones, some like lesser ones like Frontier are really good as well because of the way that they've supported Elite and have brought out things like Jurassic Park, which we both loved when we were playing it.
Oh, it was a good game. There's a load of updates for that game. You know, it might be worth a trip back to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I've got it installed, ready.
Oh, you took it off, did you?
Yeah, got it.
I didn't. I've left it on and it just had quite a few updates, I've noticed. So.
I have to admit, I was quite tempted by the PC version because it was like $6.99 in the Steam sale. I thought that'd be all right. Could play it on my laptop.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be okay on like a Switch, wouldn't it, or something like that?
Well, or just a normal laptop. I think it'd run well. It'd play quite well on that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're all agreed. Ubisoft's the best. Who's the worst?
Dunno. I can't pinpoint anyone. Sorry, I'm not going to answer that question.
Because you know you really have to answer Bethesda, but you can't do it, can you?
No.
Well, Bethesda have not released a game in ages, have they?
Not a decent one, no.
Yes,
Anyway.
I've got him to admit it. And I've recorded it.
Anyway, I need to go to the toilet. Come on, let's move on.
All right, so do you want to do your outro?
Yeah. So, Twitter at Steve007. Not Steve 07. It's 007, but it's over orange.
Steve
anyway.
007.
Whatever. But they've
Licensed to podcast.
It's no zeros. PSN the real Steve 007, Xbox Steve 07, and forget emails because I'm always on Twitter these days. I use them from Facebook even, so just give me a shout out on there. I'll gladly have a chat about anything.
You're also on Instagram as well.
Oh, and Instagram as well. Yeah, that is. Give me a second. I can never remember because I do use that for the show for publicising it. On there, I'm actually, if I can find it. So it's Steve 00764. So add a 64 on the end of it. And that's it, really.
Okay.
Do you want to reel off all the bits and pieces for the show we need?
Yeah, so my contact details are Twitter, PSN, Xbox Live, Steam, Uplay, Origin, everything is HERJ UK. If you want to get in contact with the show, then you can contact podcast at popculturegamers.co.uk. Facebook group is Pop Culture Gamers. If you want to visit our website, you can go to popculturegamers.podbean.com. Don't forget you can listen to the show on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, or even your Amazon Echo device using our very own app that we have as well. Just add that Alexa skill. And you can also support the show in various different ways. You can support it financially by donating to our Patreon, or if you want to support the show in other ways, then please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice, or spread the word via Twitter, retweet us, share in other groups, just to share the joy and let people know that we're here as well.
Yeah. So, shall I do a bit of breaking news while we're here?
Go on then.
Now, we didn't get to talk about Daniel Craig, did we? We didn't mention it, did we?
No.
That He was doing a scene in the movie, the new Bond film, and he was doing some running and he fell over and damaged his ankle.
Yeah, so they're now renaming the film Shatter Ankle, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so just come up this minute. It says here that we've got an update. Daniel Craig will be undergoing minor ankle surgery resulting from the injury sustained during filming in Jamaica. Production will continue whilst Craig is in rehabilitation for 2 weeks post-surgery. The film remains on track and for the same, and the release date will still be April 2020.
Well, there we go.
So there you go. That's from the horse's mouth.
Very good.
Anyway,
That's it. Oh, I did forget. Also, don't forget I'm Twitch streaming, twitch.tv/HERJUK. So you'll be able to see anything that we're playing on there as well. So that's it. Anything else, Steve?
No, I'm sure we'll think of something in about a week's time, week and a bit.
Yeah, so there won't be a show on this weekend because it's bank holiday. But then we'll be back later in the week. We're going to do a show midweek.
Don't know yet. Depends where we're up to, where we are. Because I'm trying to think, if I look at the calendar quickly, if I can find it.
Yep.
So we're missing the 2nd. So for the rest, we're missing the 26th. We're theoretically back on the 2nd.
Yeah.
Of June. And yeah. Oh, the show's on my birthday this time. Didn't know that. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
I guess we won't be doing the 9th then, will we?
I don't even know what's going on for my birthday yet. Don't even, probably that time of night it'd be nothing going on anyway.
Well,
but anyway,
I think that we can probably give you a night off so that you can be with your family on your birthday.
I don't know. I don't think anyone's coming down. It'd just be me and the missus probably.
I bet all your kids will turn up.
Yeah, right.
But are we? Because we'll see if we can try and fit something in 27th to the 1st, somewhere in between there. Maybe do a special. We haven't done a special for ages, have we?
No, we haven't. No, I haven't finished Star Trek Discovery yet either. So.
Well, I wasn't thinking doing a Star Trek Discovery one, but I was thinking we could do one maybe like a bit of a thoughts on the MCU up till now, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a clip leaked. There's a clip that's just been leaked on CBS on YouTube.
Of
Picard.
Send us a link. Anyway.
It's a good night. Actually, you should say that.
Yes, it's a good night from me.
And a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.